Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday. I'm bundled up. Christy's looking great, and I'm looking like a mom. So that's what's happening today. Thank you for joining us, you guys, everybody. I can't believe we're already in the middle of the week. It's already felt a little wonky. We were just talking about it, how it's felt like Thursday instead of Wednesday. So I'm glad you guys are here. I hope you have a cup of Joe. I'm excited about our guest. I'm doing this a little different because usually I like talk about you and then add you on, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to use Be Live. Hello, I can see people are clicking on. So yes, you guys, I am so excited to introduce you guys. You guys may have already seen her kind of floating around the internet. Christy's awesome. I am saying your name right? Because I have to not say people's name right. It's my thing. She is does similar things to what I do. So if you guys haven't clicked on her page, we're going to have her tell you a little bit. Oop, there we are. Hello, guys. Sorry, your comments just clicked up. Hello, good morning, everybody. So I want to introduce Christy, and she is going to talk to us all about managing our energy for living our best life and kind of a little bit about what she does. So Christy, take it away. Tell everybody all of what you do and who you are.
Yeah. So hi, everybody. I'm Christy Forsyth, and I call myself a soul therapist. So my background is as a licensed mental health counselor, and I'm also a psychic medium. And so I've kind of found my favorite way of helping people has been to bring those things together, to bring that together, to bring my life coaching experience together, to allow us to have an intuitively led life coaching process. And so we're today is Coffee with the Angels, right? And that's exactly how I do that. Is I tap into the energy of the angels. I connect really closely with the energy of the angels, and I just allow them to sort of guide that process.
Sweet. I love that. I was telling Christy, you guys, the other day, how I love working with people who also connect with the angels. And, you know, we work with all sorts of different entities on the other side and spirits and guides, but I like when we find other angel workers because it's so much fun. So
It's nice to find somebody who connects in a similar way.
yes, very much so.
I love
So,
that.
how are you maintaining your energy field during this crazy holiday season?
Oh, did we lose our?
Do you hear me? Oh no. Oh crap. I can still see you. She might not be able to hear me. Oh, this isn't great. Can you
I
hear
can see
me?
you now. Okay.
Okay, I got to keep my hands down because I will throw energy around. Okay, so sometimes I freeze the screen. All right, let's go back to, as I was saying, I don't know if anybody can hear me.
Well, it's energy, right? That's what we're talking about today is energy. And it happens all the time when I'm doing interviews. And you too, it sounds like.
Yeah, so that's why I'm like, all right, and this light keeps going. I'm like, all right, we might have a few technical difficulties today.
Yeah.
Managing our energy field for living our best life. And what I asked was, how are you maintaining your energy field during this crazy time?
You know, I do I pay a lot of attention to my energy field. And really, I think the most important thing that I do is to have awareness, because for so many years, I didn't recognize that the anxiety that I was feeling, or the mood swings that I would feel, or mostly it's anxiety for me, but that was actually me just taking on other people's energy, or the energy of the space that I was in, or the energy, the universal energy that is
Right.
existing in that day. And so for me, it's about just that awareness, because sometimes when I have that awareness, I can take a step back and go, oh, okay, this thing that I'm feeling, is this something that is a real emotion that I'm having, or can I take a step back and recognize it as an energy that's disconnected from me? Because a lot of times when I can acknowledge it, it's released pretty quickly. And I also like to really focus on filling myself with the white light of God, of the angels, and surrounding myself with this beautiful bubble of light, and setting the intention that it's keeping my vibration up, and that it's protecting me from any negativity that's coming my way.
That's awesome. And how do you what is your protection mechanism when you're saying, hey, I feel like I've, really stepped into something that isn't great? What is your go to?
I think for most people, in terms of energy, I think one of the things that's important to keep in mind is that visualization is really key in terms of managing our energy field. And so I really believe that we can balance anything, fix anything, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, through using visualization. And so I use different visualizations to help balance out my energy field. So if I feel as though, the other day, Tuesday was or Monday was a rough, energetic day for a lot of people. And I found myself at the end of the day, because I was helping so many people with it, feeling very heavy with the energy. And so what I did is I did a meditation where I focused on, where do I see any negativity within my energy field? So I might imagine that bubble all the way around me, that is my aura, and filling the inside of my body, filling the outside of my energy field with that light, and imagining that that's kind of clearing away any of that negativity.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We just actually did that on Monday.
Yeah.
Monday morning messages. So I'm like, anybody who watched that is sorry, I'm getting distracted because I'm seeing a comment and Spirit's trying to talk to me. That's exactly what we did, especially stepping into kind of this new happy 12/12 energy that's coming in and this crazy time. So Sue said she's going to see a medium this AM, a group of 20. Any suggestions for me? She said, I'm a nervous wreck.
I always think, just set your intentions that you get whatever messages you need for your highest and best good. I always, in my reading, set the intention that I'm only connecting with messages that are helpful, healing, or preventative only, because who wants to know anything else? And that I'm only connecting with energy that's of the light. So what I would recommend is just that she's setting her intention before she goes. What is it that you want to understand? What is it that you want to have as part of the experience? Because that is what Spirit will give you. Intention is huge. Intention is everything with anything that you're about to do. So I recommend that people set those intentions for anything that we're feeling nervous about or that we're preparing to do.
So that's perfect. Sue, good luck. Remember, your energy goes where, and your mind flows all in the same direction. So congratulations, Jessica. She got the job. There's all these people that are telling all their good things, because it's funny. Today's all about celebrating. And we're stepping into this new energy. And Christy and I, you guys today are talking about, sorry, when Spirit distracts me, I'm here because I go.
I totally get it. We work
like setting wills in motion, really stepping into, okay. So Spirit's like, oh yeah, setting wills in motion, getting our intention for this year. So I guess Spirit said, you've done this really well. So I'm like, oh, okay. So what do you have planned for this next year that you're really setting those wills in motion? Can you tell?
Yeah, I do. So I do a lot of intention setting. I'm setting a lot of goals, and some of it is around things like this. I really have said, I want to shine my light on the world, and I want to be able to pass along the messages that I'm receiving with people all over the place, through videos, through teaching, through traveling to teach, those kind of things, through services. And so that's been my focus, and I've been creating a momentum around that already.
Okay, so I was like, what are they having me ask? Yeah. Like, okay.
Because the angels, and probably you're getting this message too, they've talked a lot about December just being, it's really important that we're not waiting until the new year to be jumping on our goals or to be jumping on those resolutions, that we really are starting to create some level of a momentum right now, that's really important.
Yeah, setting your intentions.
Mm-hmm.
Very much so, setting your intentions. And I keep getting the word flow, and just not push, but letting the energies kind of roll you into that. They're showing the snowball effect. Like, let's just let this flowing. That's fantastic. So how do people contact you? Do you do like in person? Do you just do over the online?
I do both. I do in person, and I do a lot of sessions online as well. You guys can check me out at discoveryourawakening.com, and that'll have everything connected with that.
Sweet. Do you do like packages? Because I saw that you do life coaching. So do you have packages, or is it one time session? How does it all work?
It's usually a one-time session. So it's 85 a session, or I do offer a 3-session package, which is 225.
Okay. Awesome. Very good. Um, Sorry, somebody's asking, like here, do you do mediumship readings of past loved ones?
So mediumship is not my primary gift, although
Okay.
it comes through sometimes. So it's part of my readings if it wants to be. But I find that because I work so much more with the angels, that tends to be the focus, telling people about their energy field, telling people about how they can better connect with their life purpose, or how they can better connect with their best life path and what their natural energy field is. So I tend to get more information like that in readings.
Okay. How did you get started with all this?
So I started as a kid. I thought that it was kind of normal, my experiences. I had just these people that I would talk to that were kind of regularly there with me, that are my angels, and thought that everybody had that experience, and started to realize as I talked with friends and things like that, that wasn't their experience at all. And so over a period of time, I started to ignore that a bit and disconnect from that a bit. And it was always there in terms of being able to understand people in a really deeply empathic way. And then reconnected again when I was around 19 and started to have all kinds of experiences with that again. But what my experiences were during that period of time was a little bit more connected to negative energy. I started to have scarier experiences with people standing around my bed, and strange things happening in my room at night. And I really felt weird about that and uncomfortable with that. And so what I said is, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to connect with this energy anymore. And I shut that down. But what I didn't understand at the time is that we are in charge of that, and we can set intentions around that. And had I understood that back then, I could have just said, I only want to work with energy that's of the light. I only want to focus my time and energy on these things. And it would have really impacted the way that I connected with that. So then I was working as a counselor, and through some experiences that I had, started to reconnect again with my intuition. And then it just opened wide open for me. I started to see auras on people. I started to see angels again, and connect with angels, and connect with messages for people. And it's moved pretty quickly ever since then.
That's awesome. So
Yeah.
spirit goes, because you mentioned 19. So how was dating when you could like feel people's energy?
It's interesting, right? So I try to respect boundaries.
Right?
With that, right? So I'm not just like walking around reading everybody's auras, but dating or not, I do try to, because I can control that and shut that down. But you do have a sense of some things, and you do have an awareness, and I do find that can freak some people out a little bit. Not everybody can handle that, because when you say something and it's so true, they're kind of like, well, get out of my head.
Right? They're like, what are you doing? Have you ever had one of those dates where he looked at you sideways?
Yeah. I mean, a lot, because I think that overall there are a lot of people who get freaked out by that.
Yeah.
You have to find someone who's really open and I think connected in their own spiritual way for them to be comfortable with the messages that are coming through. Because sometimes I can't help it. I can set boundaries around that, but there are some things that I'm just gonna be aware of.
So that was my next question. Has spirit ever like bugged you when you're out, Target, wherever, and they're like, you've got to deliver this? What do you do? I always ask other intuitives.
I do have a lot of boundaries around that, so it's not very often, but yeah, every once in a while I have had that happen. One time I was getting a service done, and it was the first time that I had met this girl, and I'm laying on her table, and all of a sudden her friend who had passed away came through, and I was like, can we let this go? I'm trying to relax. I'm trying to experience this. Can we do this next time? And she was basically like, no. And so I tried to fight it a little bit. My body started shaking. And the girl was like, are you okay?
You're like, no, I'm not actually, okay?
And so then I'm like, all right, I'm just going to tell you in these messages, and I just let that out and release. So sometimes it's like, you can't hold it in. It needs to be released. And I have done that for people, random strangers that I've run into in public as well, right, or whatever. But it is a little more rare for me for that to come through in that way.
Yes. I have a system with spirit. I'm like, if you give it to me 3 times,
yes,
then I will deliver the message. If it's not 3 times, but sometimes you're right, it's super urgent. Like I noticed, and I've tried so many times, but if I go and get a massage, like I can't do it.
Yeah.
I had this one woman and her spirit guide was just like talking to me, and he was like this close, and I was like, "What do you want?" Leave me alone.
Like, let me relax.
Exactly, and yeah. So I don't have.
But you go into that relaxed state when you're there, so you're so much more open, and they're touching you, and there's that energy exchange, and
there's a huge energy exchange, and you don't think about that. So that's why when I talk and I tell this on my videos all the time, that what you present out in your energy, if it's love or light, it's negativity, people pick up on that. So make sure if you're not right here, go set your intentions, go change your energy before you step out into the world. So, absolutely. Okay, what are the questions, Spirit? Spirit gives me all the questions, and I'm like, oh, because usually in the morning I'm like, have 100 things on my mind, and I'm like, okay. And usually, yeah. Spirit will kind of know what was on their hearts of the viewers. But it was funny because my eyes started watering, and I started getting, what is this? Where are you going with this? Okay. When you were feeling sad or over emotional, okay, guess we're gonna go there. So I just heard like a baby or something, a child, and I have my kids in here. Or if you were grieving a loss, how do you connect and help with that? How do the angels help you connect and feel comfort?
Yeah, you know, I think there's different parts of that, right? So part of it is, I think that it's important to honor what's coming up for us, and so often we try to avoid those feelings, and we try to push them down, and so when I'm feeling emotional, I do try to, if possible, just take a little bit of time to feel my feels and to express that and to let myself feel that. But the thing about feelings is I like to visit them, not live in them, especially if they're the more uncomfortable feelings. So I will visit that for a little while. I'll let myself experience that. And then I do something to change my focus. And usually that's connected with my thinking. And so I'll choose a better thought. I'll choose something else to focus on. It might be distraction. It might be just what's the best possible, most comforting, most positive thought I can think of right now, here in this moment. And I'll allow myself to have a better thought. And that leads to another better thought and to another better thought. And before I know it, I've pulled myself up and out of that energy and into a higher vibrational space again. But I've also honored that human in me that needed to release something.
Yeah. I know that's definitely a question that comes up a lot this time of year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And, people have this grieving process, and it's a process for a reason. I think we have to honor some of that and acknowledge it and acknowledge where we're at, but then also redirect ourselves and reach out. I think asking for help is huge as well. So the first place that I go to for help is the angels, because the thing about the angels is they can't help us unless we ask for help, unless there's a really, really needed intervention. And so if we ask for help, they always will dive in and help us. And I've had the experience so many times of being really emotional, where I've said, hey, can you please help me with this? Can you help to take the edge off of this a little bit, or help me to redirect my thoughts, or whatever it is that I'm needing? And they have brought this feeling of beautiful calm over me. I mean, angels, when you can connect with their energy, they're just this extension of God. They're this extension of that universal love that's available to us. So it's just a feeling of pure love and calm and peace. And so it's so incredible when you can connect with that, and it starts with asking.
Yes.
And then the
Definitely.
next is asking for support, from the people in your world that you do have, and making sure that we reach out. Because I think so many times we sit in that loneliness, or we sit in that feeling of disconnection, or, oh, people don't want me to bother them or something like that. But I do think that it's important to reach out to those supports that do lift us up, that do bring more light into our life to help pull us out of that space.
Yes, and I reaching out for people, and that's what I talk about, is reaching out on the other side and here in physical. Mm-hmm. So I'm like sitting here, and spirit comes in, and I'm like, oh, because I was going to say, well, which archangels do you work with? And I saw Gabriel next to you and Michael next to you. So I was like, oh, okay. So other than that, which one do you work with the most, I guess?
I think it's hard to choose because I work with so many of them so often. I always see myself as much more of a healer. So I would say that I work with Raphael a lot, but I work with Michael and Gabriel a lot as well. And also Archangel Metatron, that, I've connected with a lot more, just in terms of focusing on helping to raise the vibration of the planet, through connecting with one person at a time. And so those are kind of the primary ones, I would say.
Very cool.
Yeah.
What have you got about these energies coming in for 12/12? Have you got anything you want to share with everybody?
I just feel like we're in such an important time. I feel like we are.
Oh, sure. We're just going to bleep out.
We're learning to connect with our life purpose. I think so many people are waking up. I think so many people are connecting on a deeper level with their spirituality. And we're all on this journey of beginning to progress toward connecting with your life purpose and your life's work. And your life's work might not be what you get paid for, but it could be. And more and more people are just beginning to connect with that. So I see us sort of moving in that direction. We're really working on building a foundation with that now and taking steps in that direction. So I think that that's really big and important and a huge part of the energy that's happening right now.
Yeah. What are you giving your clients to work on during this time?
I am having them just kind of take a little bit of time to listen to themselves. I think that we've been doing a lot of reflecting. This year has taught us a lot about ourselves, and it has taught us what we do want and what we don't want. And so I've really been encouraging people to take that information and focus on what you do want, so that you're beginning to put that order in with the universe, that you're beginning to focus your awareness and attention on those things that you do want. Because we've really been given a gift with the astrology and all the retrogrades and looking at things from all these different angles. And it's just helping to show us where we want to go, where we should be going in our lives. And so I've been encouraging people to focus on those things.
That's awesome.
And manifesting all this amazing stuff that's coming our way, because 2019 is fantastic.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Do you have any new projects or new things that are coming this next year, that you're bringing to the page?
Yeah, I think that I have a lot. I'm kind of in an interesting transitional period, because I was working with a business partner, and she just a couple of weeks ago moved about 12 hours away from here. And so we're kind of working on shifting that, and I'm refocusing on doing a lot of projects on my own and things like that. So I have a lot of things in the works, but it's in the very early stages of that. But I'm working on I'm working on a course called Life Coaching with the Angels. That's going to be a group life coaching process that I'm really excited about, and that's going to be coming out in very early January.
Awesome. If you guys want to, if you're interested in that, you guys shoot her a message. Can they contact you on a message on your email? On your website?
Absolutely, they can do that.
Yes, I know. I heard you. So there's people asking, do you know how much that's going to be yet?
I don't. I should have the details up within the next week or so.
That's fine. I'm hearing people asking. So, okay, well, you guys, if you guys are interested in that, just have her put you on a list and she can email you out when she has all the details. Does anybody have any questions? I know I ask all questions and I try to tune into our viewers and see if they have any questions. Cindy goes, I think my angels roll their eyes a lot.
I always say my angels slap themselves on the forehead a lot.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Because no matter how connected you are, like we're just human too. And
yes,
learning are things that we need to learn as well.
Exactly. Exactly. Does anybody else have any questions for her before I have close up or ask any other questions Spirit wants me to ask? Okay. Do you do any live shows, live events?
I do. I do a weekly show where I talk about the universal energy, so the planetary energy that we're experiencing. And so many of the people that connect with me, and I'm sure people that connect with you, are energy sensitive. And so I talk about that because we're all feeling it. And I talk about how we can best navigate that energy and pull some tarot cards to help connect even more with that, and how we can best navigate the weekly energy. And starting in January, I'm going to be doing some tarot readings for the month, going through the astrological signs for everybody as well.
You guys, I think the bell was on my computer because I had a message. Sorry about that. It was like, what's the bell? And I know that when we're talking about the energies, the feed's a little kind of messed up because I guess I'm bouncing and you're delayed. So it's the energies coming in, you guys, that's happening. So I believe that's the bell. Everyone's like, what's the bell? I think that was that on my computer.
I know we need some technology that can really handle these energy surges that come through.
Agreed. Where I don't freeze the camera, we're not delayed. I'm like, oh, because we are already having a little bit of that. That's so fascinating. Are you planning on traveling this next year? Anywhere, any places you're wanting to go to?
I mean, I am interested in traveling lots of different places. I'm kind of putting that out to the universe right now because I really want to travel to teach more. And I've kind of stuck to the East Coast with that this past year, but I'm interested in expanding that for sure.
Somebody said, I've never seen an angel, really not sure how I feel about them. Wait, slow down. Or about their existence. What is the good first steps for a general understanding?
I think not everybody is going to see angels. That's not everybody's gift in that way, although I think that we connect with angels in human form more often than we realize. People who just a kind stranger who comes along and says just the right thing at the right time, or does something for us when we're in need. But I recommend to people that they try to connect with the feeling of the angels, because this is something that I feel like everybody can do in some way, shape, or form. And so setting the intention, I'm interested in connecting with the energy of the angels. I'm interested in connecting with my angels. Can you show me what you feel like? And setting that intention, and maybe doing that right before you go into a meditation or something like that. Mm-hmm. And noticing the physical sensations that you experience, or the feelings that you have that you experience, and doing that several times just to see the consistency in the feeling. Because once you get a sense of what the angels feel like, then you have a sense of when they're trying to get your attention. Then you have a sense of when they're trying to let you know that they're around. And then you can also ask for signs outside of yourself. The angels are constantly putting feathers on my path. As much as I see them and I connect with them, they still want to remind me that they're around and that they're here to help. And so there'll be feathers that will be on my path in some way. I just had one right here. It is show up on my floor today when I came into the office, right? So feathers can be a powerful sign. You can ask for signs from the angels. Seeing like sparkles out of the corner of your eye, or seeing flashes of light out of the corner of your eye, can be a way that we can experience angels. So just asking for those things and setting those intentions is the fastest way to connect.
And I did that in my show in California. I love that. Yeah. So Sharm says, how can you help an emotional spirit?
How can you help? Does that mean do you mean like a ghost, or?
That's I'm like that's what I'm when I'm like, where are we? Where are you? What are you talking about? Definitely can feel their emotions.
Uh, I don't do, because I connect more with the angelic energy. I tend to, that's not an area of expertise for me. In fact, I tend to find myself really physically impacted by ghosts, what I call earthbound energy, right? Especially if they've been here a while, because it tends to be a heavier energy. But, what I do know is that anywhere that you can send light is a good thing. Anytime that you're sending light to someone, whether they are in this physical world or they are not, that's going to be a positive thing. And so I think that that's a really helpful place to start.
Yeah, because Charm, you're picking up on somebody that's not an angel. You're picking up on somebody that's left over. Send them light, send them to Jesus, and open the doorway so they can cross over.
And you can call on the angels to help with
Yeah.
that, because certainly the angels have helped many times when I've called on that to help somebody to cross into the light.
Yeah, Charm, you might need a session because there's not really emotional angels. They're sensitive, but yeah, you might be picking up somebody that's disguised. That's a thing too. Do you want to talk about that?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, so angels are, they don't feel emotional because they're just pure light. They're just pure love. They're really just an extension of source energy. So they won't feel emotional. They don't have an ego like we do. They're just pure love. So if there's something coming in that has those emotions, that has more of an ego base, chances are that, is a little more connected with a negative energy or a lower level energy. And sometimes I find that, and I don't honor this very often or give much attention to it, but sometimes I do find the energies can come through disguised as different things like angels or whatever. And it's how we tell the difference is in the feeling, right? The feeling will always tell you. An angel will never not feel incredible.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes. And usually, if you're picking up that kind, you need to look and see where areas of your life that you may need to fill your own life with light. So they're not attracted to any of that. So fill yourself up, do a meditation, and fill yourself up with light. I'm trying to see if we have any other questions. Any other questions? Yes, Cindy. Cindy's saying, should she ask her angels more? Yes.
Yes. Hands down, yeah. I mean, so you have your own angels that are here just to help you. So to not use them is really, we need to use them. We should be using them. That's what they're here for. And they're so excited to help us. I ask my angels for help even with silly things, silly little things. Like the other day, or I think it was last week, I couldn't find my other shoe in my closet. And I was in a hurry, so I said, "Can you help me find this shoe really quick?" And before I knew it, my hand was on the other shoe that I needed. So
I love that. I do that too. I'm glad I'm not the only one. I do that too.
I mean, I use them for so many things, and I think people think that they can overuse it, or, like that it needs to be really, really important. But they're here for you, and they're here to help you, and they want you to have the best possible experience you can here on Earth. So call on them, ask for help.
Exactly. Hi, how can I connect my angel guide to get on my life path?
I think meditation is one of the best ways to do that. So setting your intention, I keep bringing up intention, setting that intention before you go into that meditation. And you may need to do meditation over and over and over again with that intention to allow that to happen, because sometimes it can take a little bit of time. But what I also find is that we do have the answers, or we are making these connections with the angels without us realizing it. It can just be a little bit subtle sometimes. It's not always in your face, really obvious ways that we're connecting. Sometimes it's just a subtle little thought in your head, that sounds like it's in your own voice, and it's just a thought that seems like maybe it's a good idea, or we can just quickly have a feeling like, oh, maybe this is something that I should do, or maybe this is a step that I should take. And I find that with our intuition and with our guides, our angels and guides guiding our intuition, that it tends to look a little more like breadcrumbs leading a path toward those things. And so kind of listening to those little impulses throughout your day that you feel compelled to listen to, because it will guide you towards those answers. But you might not get that big answer that you're looking toward right away in that moment. It might take a little bit of time, and it might take a little bit of taking action on some things and exploring and having some experiences that the angels are helping to guide you with.
Yes. Yes. Always, always call, ask.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much, Christy. I'm like trying to see it. I know people are just saying thank you. A lot. They keep saying, Susie, where are we at? About clouds. They're talking about clouds. I feel angels are sitting in the clouds watching over us.
Yeah. I love that. You know, the cool thing is, like, it's nice to think about them on the clouds, but also, you know, just thinking about that they're here with us, you know, always. And so they're so accessible to us. And they really just want to share love with us and help us to be supported and loved, and to show us that there's so much magic that exists here in this world, and so much love that exists here in this world for us. And so, yeah, they're on the clouds, but they're also standing right next to you.
Very much so.
Not in a creepy way. That sounded creepy.
No, they're right next to you. They're right next to you. I love it. I love it. Love it. Thank you so much for being my guest and being on the show. If you guys want to contact her website, I will post again after we can post in this feed afterwards. It's also on the post I posted on Monday. Her Facebook page. You want to tell us what her Facebook page is so people can like it and share it?
Yes, it's under Christy Waters Forsyth.
Okay, you guys, so check out her stuff. You want to connect, if you want to talk, if you guys want to be part of her new program that she's coming in January. You guys send her an email. Thank you so much, you guys, for joining. Have a fabulous day, you guys. Thank you, Christy, so much, and we will talk soon.
Thank you.
All right, bye, everybody.